This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Former executive with the B3As and the Bahamas Olympic Association, the Reverend Dr. Enoch Bachford, passed away yesterday, just one day before he would have celebrated his 78th birthday. Bachford was the last surviving member of the first team to win a medal for the Bahamas in international track and field competition. That was at the 1957 West Indies Federation Games in Jamaica. Sir Arlington Butler was a longtime friend and colleague of Bachford in the BOA, and he says we have lost a true pioneer.
He was dedicated to what he was doing. He enjoyed sports. He encouraged youngsters to stay on the straight and narrow, and he therefore did whatever he could to make it possible for them to be on the straight and narrow.
Now, Reverend Bachford's passing came just one day after another B3As and BOA legend was laid to rest, that of course being Livingston Winky Bostwick. And without a doubt, these were two men who laid the foundation for the current executive of what has now become the Bahamas Olympic Committee.
It's most certainly a sad moment in the Olympic movement in the Bahamas. We've lost two of the greatest sports administrators this country's ever seen. With respect to Livingston Bostwick, I think his contribution to sports is well known, having been inducted into the CAC Hall of Fame and being respected worldwide. I think, sometimes we take them for granted when they're here with us, but I think Winky, I'll tell you, was one of the persons that embraced me when I became president of the Bahamas Softball Federation and showed me the ropes around the Olympic movement. And then with Enoch being the spirit of the Olympic movement, I think he was not only, all of them were best friends, but he was not only the pillar of strength of Arlington, but he was also our spiritual advisor. And believe it or not, when things got a little out of control, we'd lean to Enoch. Not only was he a great administrator, he was a leader. He helped Arlington tremendously when Arlington was on the diplomatic corps and making his rounds. It was Enoch who actually kept the Olympic movement together. In the most difficult of times, when things were tough financially, Enoch will find a way to make sure that our team was represented. And we know that his health deteriorated, and one day, we would receive this news, and it's still very difficult to accept that such a good person, and good persons, good men, good role models have passed and moved on.
Still no word yet as to when the Government Secondary School Sports Association will hold elections, but Penuel Bain thinks he's more than qualified to lead the way moving forward.
I have a proven track record. I've been coaching for over 20 years in the GSSA. I've been at every level, the junior, senior, and I have a wide experience. I've served on 2 previous boards. Each time I've served on the board, it's been pretty successful, and I bring a lot of vigor and enthusiasm, and most of all, I've been always honest in my dealings with the GSSA. I've always been one to coach every sport, so for the first time, in my opinion, we're going to pay attention to all the sports. We're going to give them equal press, equal coverage. We're going to try and have 3rd place in each sport. We're going to try and have all-star competitions in each sport. And one of the things that we want to do is to somehow enter a dialogue with the private schools in order to bring us together, even if it's just for championships, private school versus public school, in order to improve sports in the country. I think one of the things that was lacking is the communication. There was a communication breakdown over the last administration with the coaches and the GSSA executive, and we need to ensure that we mend that relationship moving forward.
The Arlington Province Volleyball Association season is just around the corner, and moving forward, the focus will be on the youth as they look to attract players who can one day represent the country.
One of the plans is to have a junior league run next year summer. But as it relates to our ability to compete with Trinidad and Jamaica, if you could remember in the past, in 2004 through 2007, we were coming 2nd and 3rd. And I think only Trinidad was the team that was able to beat us on a regular basis. I think we can get there. I think once we put the work in, and now that we have access to a facility where we can do all of the groundwork, I think we'll be able to compete with those teams much better than we have done in the past, the recent past that is. We have a whole crew of younger persons who have come up for the first time, and apparently, to our surprise, they're doing much better than we thought they would have been doing by now. It just goes to show that the young persons are very interested in volleyball and they're willing to do hard work.
The 43rd edition of the Central American and Caribbean Bodybuilding and Fitness Championships will take place September 24th through the 27th at the Atlantis Resort, and expectations are high for the home team following last month's Nationals.
This is one of the best nationals, or the best nationals I'm hearing all around, that we have hosted in Nassau for quite some time. And so what we all have seen this year were athletes coming to the stage looking almost like professional bodybuilders. The ladies, women's figure, physique and bikini, they had some dynamic physiques out there that it caused a head to turn as to, hey, wow, I didn't know we had these athletes in this country looking the way they do. And so they all bought the A game. So as far as us selecting Team Bahamas this year, it was an easy slate for us. We pretty much pick out most of the winners, or pretty much all the winners were picked for the team. And then because we're hosting it this year, we're allowed to carry a B team. And so those that place second and others that probably placed third but looked the part that probably they should be on the stage or added to the team as well.
The Bahamas definitely missed out on a golden opportunity last month when a breakdown in communication resulted in the 242 not sending a team off to an under-15 World Baseball qualifier in Mexico. Martin Burrows was also supposed to have traveled along with that team as an umpire, and that too could have opened some doors, but Burrows is not letting that keep him down as he's still pushing forward.
I was glad that I had the opportunity to even be eligible to go, because once I reached at that level and I could get to know some people, that way I could learn some things and come back and do a training to take the umpiring to the next level. Just like I went back in the schools and I did it with coaching, I'm going to do it as an umpire, because you have plenty young people in the schools what can't play, but they're interested in the game and they want to learn the game. So if I could get them in, and they don't have no attachment to no team, so they don't really care who team it is.
The Bahamas Softball Federation elected a new slate of officers earlier in the year, and it appears they have some work to do to repair their relationship with New Providence Softball Association President Godfrey Gully Burnside, as he is not happy with the direction softball is headed.
Now we have fragmented sections all over the place trying to play softball, and the personalities are just saying what they want to say, how they want to say, and that's why we can suffer in softball.
You made mention that you were going to run for the president, but you changed your mind. Why did you change your mind, knowing that you have such brilliant ideas and you might want to see them come to fruition?
There's going to be a fight with personalities. It doesn't make any sense to go and fight if somebody believes they can do it better. I know I have some ideas. I know what I would try to bring everybody together and try to get softball back on track. But it's going to be very difficult to do it. And so I said, let me step aside, and I don't need to get in that at this point in time.
Eleazor Barber J. Johnson pulling out all the stops ahead of this weekend's back-to-school regatta in Montague Bay. The plan was to hold the regatta a few weeks back so the kids could get all their supplies before heading back to school, but the event was put off due to Tropical Storm Erica. Now, even though school's already back in, Barber J knows the kids could always use the supplies, and he's looking forward to 2 exciting days, both on shore and on the water.
It's going to be a nice atmosphere because it's going to be seeing me. People will be watching who in front, who going to catch who, and what. So all this going to be action to see what's happening. Who win? They got medals. They got with the different things, and we're preparing lunch for the kids them on Saturday and on Sunday. Then we have the police force. The police them going to be there to protect the kids and whatnot. The commissioner of police, they make sure the kids them be well protected, and we want all the families to come out. We expect to give out things there from 2 o'clock on, and I think that they will be there to receive the gift. Most time like after church on Sunday. So this is I think, and I expect to see a lot of great sailors come out to support this event.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.